Welcome to Coffee Meets Cloud, where three women in tech come together to share real stories about leadership, life, and everything in between. Join our hosts, Karami McCollum.
In other news, these headphones, I'm going to have to do something else. I am on fire.
Cassandra Parker.
It's pretty basic. We have to stay fully caffeinated in order to do all the things that we do.
And Rachel Rogers.
I don't know if we can survive this. I feel like this one goes in the vault.
Your go-to source for candid conversations and unfiltered insights. So, grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and join the chaos.
Welcome back to another episode of Coffee Meets Cloud. Happy Tuesday. How are you guys doing?
Happy Tuesday. Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm sleepy. You wouldn't know it because I'm faking it till I make it, but I've been sleepy all week. It's not going away. I was sick. I'm on.
Yeah. But you also came off of like high intensity kid week, right? Because you're coming off of Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like the week between Thanksgiving and what is known as the end of the year, we should just have the whole month of December off. Like
Agreed.
It should just be no responsibilities, because what ends up happening between all of the school parties you go to, the work parties, the friend parties, all of the eating, all of the beverages, like very little gets done. And I feel like maybe we have 2 weeks before somebody says, oh, we'll handle that after the first of the year anyway.
Exactly.
Yep.
So we should just call it.
Well,
I
this
think
year
that you'd have a better and a happier workforce if every company just agreed, like corporate wise. Now I know like retail and things like that, it's like your busiest time of year, but for us corporate folk, I feel like you should just take the whole month of December and say, it's fine. We're going to work with a skeleton crew.
Well, a lot of IT companies do the last 2 weeks of the year as like they are holiday. They just shut down for those last 2 weeks, which I think is great. But I also think like, look, at the end of the day, the work week is a man-made time construct. So we have the power to change it. Now I work in healthcare, so that's a little bit different. And, there's different people need healthcare all the time. So we're here for you. But
didn't it used to be different, the work week, like decades ago? It wasn't.
Well, I mean, we made it up.
I want to say, I should Google this, but I want to say it wasn't like an 8-hour, 5-day a week deal way back when.
Well, probably not. I mean, and even in Europe still, it's not.
Right.
Like they take month-long vacations and don't think anything about it. Or
there's
they'll
a reason they live so
work
long.
9 to 2.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, if you look at the US, when we were growing up, stores didn't stay open as late as they do now. Like, there were a lot of things that closed a lot earlier. It's been something where, as we've gained internet and this need for constant accessibility, we've created this mess.
Speaking of stores staying open, did y'all see any of the stuff that some of the stores were doing for Black Friday? Like Lowe's.
I mean, I went Black Friday shopping. Yes, I watched a TikTok video of a lady who won that $2,000 gift card in the bucket. That was cool. That's a good idea.
It is a good idea. What did they win? You said a gift card?
It was a $2,000. The grand prize winner per store was a $2,000 gift card in the bucket. And then other people, you got other denominations of gift cards and some of the other ones.
But see, let's talk about how we're bringing Black Friday back, right?
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate, because like COVID really killed it.
It did.
And there used to be really good deals, but I got to tell you, this Black Friday, I went out, I hit up Kohl's. It was a good time. But a lot of the things that I saw, it was like, I felt like the prices were jacked up. And then like the sale was the price it should have been. And you had to pay really close attention, because there was a lot of that going on. I saw a lot of social media videos where they were like, oh, just peel the sticker back and look, this price at Costco. It was a Costco example. Like the Bens were originally like $10. But then there was a sticker over that said they were on sale for $12.99.
That happens a lot. Like not even Black Friday.
Right.
Anytime you see not every store, I'm sure, but a lot of times when you see that they're running a sale or quote unquote clearance, they have marked it up like 50% and then they're giving you 25% off or something like that. So, you think you're getting a great deal, but
I think on Black Friday, like it's an extra, like to me, like devious thing to do. Because people are shopping for holiday shopping. Several of these people are shopping on a very constrained budget. and they are looking for the best deal possible to make their money go the furthest for whatever they're doing, right? And you have a lot more people that shop on Black Friday than shop any other day of the year as a result, right? So I feel like you're intentionally taking advantage of a crowd, and that to me is just wrong. You shouldn't do that.
It's unfortunate.
Well, and Amazon Prime does the same thing. Prime days, like those lightning deals, I have put things in my cart to see what the price is going to be on Prime Day, and it'll say lightning deal, but it's the same price as it was in my cart the day before. Just the original price has gone up now, and it's half price. So yeah, come on, be honest, people. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, let's bring back some honesty in this world. We could all use a little more of it. That and common sense, which is not so common. So there's that.
Uncommon sense.
A lot of people take common sense for granted. Like your flavor of common sense is not necessarily the flavor of the next person's common sense. So
that little granny on TikTok, again, it's all about the TikTok. The little granny that does all her little videos, she has a t-shirt that says "Make sense common again," and I'm like, yes.
We need t-shirts, by the way. That makes me think like we need some branded merch. It's
we
time.
need some t-shirts.
There you go. I also saw the notion of, it reminds me of when we talk about certifications, right? And I said I met a lot of certified idiots in my life, like that. Yeah, the holidays, man, they bring them all out in all flavors.
Is it because people get stressed during the holidays and they like let down more of their guard, their wall, because it just is like,
no, dude, it's the F it mentality. Like it just like people get to the end of the year and they're just like, screw it, I'm out. I'm not doing it. Like I don't have any more patience. Like everything's gone, right? The family is doing this and I just don't have the time and capacity. It's not necessarily stress. I feel like stress is like you feel like in a particular environment, like there's a lot of pressure on you. There's a lot of things going on. I think it's just like, I don't care about this for right now, right?
Not to go too deep here, but like, do you think that a lot of people are walking around masking all the time? Masking to conform to societal norms.
Yeah.
Proper etiquette, things you're supposed to do in our society that maybe don't come very natural as humans. And then you reach some point where you're just like, I cannot mask anymore.
Exactly. Dude,
it's like your face says the story and eventually your mouth will tell the story.
Yeah.
You just can't
you just have nothing left.
Well, it's just like our favorite show, The Gilded Age, right? Like where they're all supposed to be doing these societal norm things. And then when somebody doesn't do it, it's like a huge scandal. It's like maybe if we were just our authentic selves, right? Now, there is a degree of professionalism you need to carry, right? But if you were your authentic self, like, would that really be so bad? Would it really be?
For some, it absolutely would. And so I don't know that we should encourage that per se.
But I don't feel like those people, Jeremy, right now are doing a very good job with their masking. Like
that's true.
I don't think on a day-to-day basis they mask, let alone in this period of time. Do they even attempt it?
Unrelated, but when you said The Gilded Age, it made me think of this. We have been watching Landman. We finally got on the train.
So good.
So good. I'm obsessed. Like I have to make myself turn it off to get sleep because otherwise.
Wait, when doesn't the new season come out?
New
like
it's out. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm behind. I've got to watch Stranger Things. I've got to watch Landman.
I haven't watched Stranger Things yet.
It's been crazy up in here.
Speaking of busy, there's a topic I wanted to talk to y'all about. And being busy, this busy holiday season and trying to surround myself with people that I like and care about is what made me think about this topic. Friendship in your 30s and 40s. And the busy part that made me think of it is like, we're even more busy in this season. It's even harder to make time for people outside of your nuclear family in this season. So I just want to talk about how different friendship is now versus when we were younger. Well, first I want to know, what kind of friend were y'all in your 20s? Like if you had to describe what you were like to your friends. I partied a lot. I'll start there. We partied a lot. But I also in retrospect was super immature. So there was always drama in friend groups back then. I remember that.
I don't feel like I was that different. Like I had a really strong core group of friends who did everything together, and we just kind of did everything together then. Now I'm not close with those people anymore. Like I'll talk to them and say hey, and so I'm definitely not in that same friend group, but I still have like my core close friend group.
You're
But I
really
do
lucky.
I really think so. And I think it's probably because I'm in a small town too. That's the other thing, right? Like
Mm.
maybe people who are from larger cities and have more things to do have more friends. I don't know.
No. I would say probably a lone wolf is how I would describe myself because I focused on my
Now
career
or
in
in
my
your
20s.
20s?
In my
Okay.
20s, I focused on my career, and
Mhm.
it was, you know, in college, I had my first real job working at an organization, right? That they're who I went to work with after college. I was in a sorority, but I didn't really like make a ton of connections. I had, I guess, acquaintances, but not really
Mhm.
friends. I had one core friend and then that kind of changed. And then, once I got married, we then got other friends, kind of like a blended friend group, right? And then work kind of got us a couple people, but I focused on my career and putting everything there. And that's how I got to where I got so fast, but I didn't focus on the social aspects. I got burned pretty significantly when I was in high school and things like that, being from a small town. My small town is
Mhm.
not like Cassandra's small town. My small town was, everybody thought they knew everything that happened to you before you got to the grocery store, right? So like if you went to the doctor, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, she's dying." Right? Like it was just that. And while there are some aspects of it that I very much appreciated, there were a lot of aspects of it that, when I left high school, I specifically said, "Not dealing with you people anymore." And I cut them all off. And I went to college and started over, and I finished college in 3.5 years. So I like did it very fast and didn't focus on the relationship side. Looking back, maybe I should have focused on that side, but also I'm really happy with my life. So I don't know that I would necessarily say I would
No
change anything.
regrets. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think you should have regrets when you look back. There's always going to be shoulda, coulda, wouldas. If you had done it exactly the opposite, like you're saying, we'd still be talking about coulda, wouldas, just with a different angle. So, I yeah, I also grew up in a small town, but what I found is I don't want to say I outgrew some of the people that were in my circle. It's just one of those things where I think as we grow older and where we are in life changes, what's important to us changes and our priorities shift, and then it can make it harder to relate
Yeah.
to the people that you were very close with. If they're not on the same trajectory
Yeah.
with
Right.
in the same areas that have become important to you or require more focus, then sometimes you run out of things to talk about. You
Yeah.
don't know how to connect anymore.
Well,
That's really kind of what happened to me.
that's my husband always says, he's like, "You're a shark in a fish tank." Right?
Mm,
And so you gotta get to the next tank, right? You gotta get to the ocean, like, you've gotta take those steps to move forward, and sometimes in a small town, people never leave, they never evolve, they never change, and that is perfectly fine. It's just like when you look at careers, right? Like, it is perfectly fine to say, "I'm exactly where I wanna be. I don't want any changes, I don't want any promotions, I never wanna leave this company," right?
mhm.
Yep.
That can be the same thing with friendships, right? Like, this is
Yep.
just perfect for me. Like, the 3 of us, to be clear, always and forever. So,
Exactly.
that's where we're at, but
Right. Right. And if you want to stay connected to people, you start a
Right.
podcast. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the three of us, okay, so they say that there are three core types of friends that you need. So, like, don't expect a single friend. Sorry for
Mhm.
the sun. I am glowing. That a single friend is going to check all of the boxes, right? A single friend is going to fall into a certain like need category that you have.
Mhm.
So depending on like what you read about and who you talk to, the number of categories varies, but most of them say a minimum of three. So those are the effortless friend. That would be the friend you can go for like 3 months without talking to them and pick up like nothing happened.
Yep.
Another one is the reality check friend. So those are the ones that are a lot more like very honest, sometimes blunt. They're grounding. They have that
Rachel.
Did I
Yeah,
say that
they
out
have you.
loud?
They have that call you out on your nonsense kind
I
of
am
love.
so sorry.
And then the third one is the parallel life friend. So this is like, if you're a mom or a parent, they may also be a parent of kids of a similar age,
In the same
or
age. Yeah.
or similar work life. You can relate on that, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Maybe you go to church together and you share a lot of religious beliefs, whatever that is. So you kind of beat me to my question, which is, do you guys think the three of us check those boxes? Do you think two of us are in the same box? Like, what do you think we fall into?
Well, I already said Rachel's the reality.
Yeah, we
check
got that
friend.
one
If
covered.
you want real advice, if you want to know exactly, like,
No holds
all you
barred.
gotta do is, hello, what do you think about this? She's like, let me tell you.
Thanks for asking.
She's not
I'd
gonna
love to tell
hold back.
you.
Exactly. She's not gonna hold back. You may not like it, but she's gonna tell you what she thinks. But
I
that's
feel like
you
I'm
gotta
an
have
easy one.
those friends though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you gotta have those people that are gonna be real with you, even though you may not like what they have to say, but they're gonna shoot you straight. Because it's all in love.
Yeah.
What's really funny is I have a friend, Amy, who will come on the show at some point, and that is what she says about me. She's like, you are real talk, like no holds bar. You want to know what's going on, you're gonna let people know, and they may not be happy about it, but you're gonna say it. I was thinking about like parallel life friend when you were talking, Jeremy, and for me, that's where I feel like the two of you fit for me. And I think it's a little bit about perspective there, right? That's where I see you guys, but I don't know. I put you in the same bucket because to me, you guys are kind of the same person. Like you really are. Like
we've never heard
I
that
know.
before.
I know you
No
hear
one's
it all
ever
the
said,
time,
right? People are literally always interchanging our names, and like
It's bad. The number of
yeah.
times they'll be like, "Yeah, Cassandra, such and such." I'm like,
no,
was it
I actually
Cassandra?
said that. Was it Cassandra or was it Jeremy? One of
I'm
those
like,
C
whatever.
people.
I knew what you
CA
meant. It's
people.
fine. I consider myself a low maintenance friend. Maybe you can check more than one box. You just can't check all the boxes. But like, I do not take offense to not speaking, like, because I get so busy at times,
Yeah.
and I also don't reach out. I can understand and not take it personally if I'm getting that from a friend. As long as you have that foundation, that's the key. Like, if
Yeah.
it's a new friend, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Right.
But if it's an old friend.
And see, the reason why I wouldn't put you in that bucket is because for me, there's not a day that goes by that I don't reach out to you like that.
I was gonna
Because,
say we
like,
talk all the time, so you couldn't be in that bucket.
Right. That's why I'm
Okay,
like,
that
you
makes
guys can't
sense.
be in that bucket. I have other people I put in that bucket.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the beauties about, for those of you who don't know us in person, we do text every day or meme each other or something. Like it's not just what you hear on the podcast. Like before we did the podcast, we had the same rhythm, and it's not about work. It's about life. It's about, something silly your spouse did and you just need 2 seconds to vent. So that of course goes in a voice note that's going to disappear because we don't.
Oh, I love the voice note feature, y'all.
Jeremy sends 5-minute voice notes.
Yeah, you gotta put your headphones in.
It's especially important when you need to get across the tone of what you're describing.
100%.
It just doesn't. Some stories don't land the same if you text it and somebody's reading it. I don't want you to interpret what I mean, or how I felt. I want you to know exactly.
That written word, that's why I always laugh about the written word. Somebody's like, why were you so mean? I was like, I wasn't. I wrote it with puppies and kittens in my head, like when I was writing it, but you read it, with daggers and grenades. Like,
it's because you're the real talk friend. They read it in a certain tone.
The other,
I had a meeting the other day, real quick sidebar.
Yeah.
I had a meeting the other day, and this was a new team, and I get pinged on the side. Rachel, it appears people are scared of you because they're not talking on this call, and they're normally a very chatty group. And I'm like, well, why? And I get back, well, because you hold them accountable. And I was like, oh, man. Like,
hate that for you.
I know. Like, I'm not going to not hold you accountable, but I really am not scary. You can talk to me. So then I switched and was trying to be a little bit more approachable in my speech. But that whole network of you having to change because people don't like. Yeah, it's exhausting. But
It's
Jeremy
I
had a
gotta.
brilliant question.
No one in the world has ever said that I was mean. I don't think anyone's ever said that. Like, especially in the corporate world, I'm not
Yeah.
mean. Now I can be
Right.
very straightforward, but I'm just not mean. But I got a message from one of our sales reps from one of our vendors that said, "Hey, I need to ask you this question because this other person here is afraid to ask you. She's afraid of you." And I was like, "Me? Someone's afraid of me? What
Of
did
all
I
people.
do?" Because I'm the nicest. I never yell at. He's
May
like,
have
"Well,
been
no,
that
people
meeting where
are
you were like,
straight."
this completely missed the mark.
Yeah, I was pretty
I was like,
straightforward on
look
that
at her
one.
go. I've never seen her get so aggravated.
Yeah.
But,
I
but
do
that's
scare
the,
people. Ha.
but that's the
Yeah.
thing, right? Like I think that's the trouble that everybody has is if you are straightforward, if you do hold people accountable, especially if you're a female, a lot of times all of a sudden you're a witch with a capital B.
I was gonna say the
You
B
are
word comes out.
aggressive. I've been called professionally assertive before, which I found I put that on a cup because I thought that was amazing. Um, but like you get called all these things where if you were a man doing the exact same thing,
That's
you would
true.
not be called these things. And I feel like we do so many heroics to overcome that in a corporate setting.
Try to soften it. Yeah.
But why? Right? Like, I mean, I just kind of want to say I said what I said and I delivered it how I delivered it. Like that goes back to that authentic self we were just talking about. And yes, some people's authentic is crazy, but that's okay. Like, it takes all kinds, but
Well,
yeah.
you guys know I've done a lot of research and speaking to like therapists and psychologists and stuff about ADHD and things of that nature. And one of the, I hate to call it symptom, let's say characteristic, a very common characteristic of, and this relates to me, that's why I'm sharing it. Common characteristic of it is being unapologetically authentic, not
Yep.
because you're trying to be, but that
Right.
is just how your brain works.
But
So
that's neurospicy, right?
yeah.
Like that's a whole classification.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm known for it everywhere, like not just with you
Yeah.
guys or other friends, but also like my family. Like I'm known as the blunt,
Mhm.
quote unquote, one. And I mean, the older I get, the less, there was a time when I was younger, I quickly realized I was getting that reputation, we'll call it,
Label.
in the family. Yeah. And I feel like I did a lot of, or tried to do a lot more like people pleasing. Like I
Mhm.
don't want
Yep.
to make you uncomfortable. I don't want to hurt your feelings, this, that, and the other. But now the older I get, the more I'm like, okay, but I pay my own taxes and I pay my own bills. And I mean, you don't hesitate to tell me what you think. So like, what? So anyway,
No, that's a whole thing, right? I think
yeah,
people really need to take a step back and think about maybe the person isn't, as mean as you think they are or as intimidating. This thing of I'm not intimidating, you are intimidated, and that is a difference.
That's different. Correct.
Right? Like you need to recognize where you are. It's not necessarily how I'm coming across or what I am saying. I love Love on the Spectrum for that reason, that show. We keep coming back to
yeah,
shows today, right? But showing that notion of these neuro spicy people and all of
mm-hmm.
their areas, right? And how they communicate and how it is blunt.
Yep.
And it is very authentic. And they do struggle a lot and they spend a lot of their lives apologizing or misconnecting with people, which I feel very, I don't want to say sorry, right? But like very empathetic towards them of how hard that must be with just the simple labels we get, let alone having that be, your entire life. And really, how do you reach out to someone in that space?
Yeah. I've also thinking about friendship now at the ages we are, because to be clear, guys, I'm in my 30s. It is so different in your 30s and 40s, and I've heard it. So, like, say you've outgrown or just can't relate, whatever it is, to your old friends, and you recognize you need some sort of circle at this age. But now it's a lot like dating. Let me tell you the ways. In case you're wondering. Tell me if you've had to do this, because I've definitely had to do this. You're doing that whole thing where you're like watching for the red flags. So you're like dropping a topic, the mention of a topic, to see what their response is. What side of the fence do they sit on with that particular topic? Are we going to align? I've seen TikToks about this
Well,
too.
and where you're meeting these people. I think that has a
Yeah.
big difference of
Yeah.
you're meeting people because your kids are in sports or
Right.
someone you know is in sports. So you're going with that group. And so those questions and red flags you ask get very different depending on the
Right.
group and depending on if you realize you have to have a relationship with this person after, right?
Right. Do you have to keep it cordial? Do you have
Exactly.
to, it not be uncomfortable? Well, the dating part, think about this too, right? If you are trying to be like, okay, I feel like me and this person, we have a lot of thought, we have a lot in common. We live local. It'd be great to be able to get the kids together occasionally. So my kid has somebody to play with. But then the dating part is like somebody has to prompt that idea. And that very much feels like asking them on a date. Like, so you want to get a coffee sometime? Let the kids
play.
And you're thinking, are they interested in having new friends? Do they also think we have things in common? Are they going to be wondering why the hell a 35-year-old is asking to go hang out and have coffee?
I feel like when it comes to the kids, though, it's a little bit easier versus when
you
you're
use them as a buffer.
right.
Yes.
When you're making a friend at work, especially when you start a new job, because you're now in a whole new social circle and you're really trying to figure people out and they're trying to figure you out at the same time, it gets very uncomfortable very quickly.
It does.
Correct.
It definitely does.
Well, and then poor Cassandra,
got
all the parents where her kid goes, they don't have anything.
12. They're all 12. I literally go to the school and all the parents are kids. And I'm just like, I have nothing in common with any of you guys. But that's okay. I mean, and we do have younger friends. And that's another thing. Like you have friends with your spouse that are like, your mutual friends. The worst part about that is when like your husband has or your wife has a friend that they really g-haul with and they like and they jive, and then you get invited to like dinner together and
you realize
you're expected to talk to I'm expected to talk to the wife and we have nothing in common. And I'm like, wow, I'm glad that you guys have a blast, but I am bored. I need to get out of here.
Or it's like pulling teeth to have a conversation with that spouse. And it's just like, listen, we don't have to understand each other, but this has got to be a dialogue. This is going to be the longest 3 hours of our life if you don't speak back.
Yes. My husband has a really good friend and he and his wife and I just don't have a lot in common and a lot to talk about. And it's nothing against her. She's a very nice person. It's just, it's just kind of, it's awkward. It's a weird feeling.
Yes.
I don't like it. I like to have friends that I can just say whatever and be myself and not have to just be like, so what
about that weather?
Right.
How about those cubs?
How about them dogs?
Well, and as we get older, I think for most people, unless you have like an insecure attachment style and you're seeking a lot of external things, which let's not go down that rabbit hole.
And all
yeah.
that.
But most adults, the older you get, the more minimal your inner circle starts to become.
Yeah.
For all those reasons we've already talked about. So then I think it's less about growing more friends, more about curating the ones you've kept around or the ones you are going to keep around.
Right.
I think they say like if you've had a friend for 7 years or something, I might be getting that number wrong, but if somebody's been your friend for X amount of time, they're probably going to be in your life forever.
No.
I also disagree with that. I had a best friend.
I don't think there's a time limit.
No, I don't either.
But I had a best friend, and I think you're going to say the same thing, that we were together for a long time, and now we're not.
And you know what's crazy? And I don't know if this has happened to everybody. I mean, we became friends when we were 12 years old. So we grew up together. And I think we actually even like just molded a lot about how each other, like what we became individually, because when you spend that much time with a person in those formative years, that's bound to happen. It just reached a point, like it wasn't that deep. It just reached a point where even for all the things we still had in common, like individually, our marriages looked a lot different. Our parenting styles looked a lot different. And that, even though that's only a couple things, to people that matters to, those are very important things to not align on. You know, even
Yeah.
if we had 25 other ways that we were so much alike, but in my mind, those were very superficial ways. They didn't matter as much. And these two very core things to my existence now, we were like oil and water. So it just doesn't work. And it's that simple.
Well, and I
Unfortunately.
think knowing when to walk away is important because sometimes you try to hold on because you have had that friend for so long
Yeah.
and you do think that, you had this great relationship, you want that relationship back. It would be very beneficial to your life, but then you look at it and go, but for these two reasons, this doesn't make sense. And being cordial about it, right? Like it doesn't always have to be some big fight.
No.
There's not necessarily a blow up event that caused you to no longer be friends.
Yeah. I still think about her.
Yeah.
I don't know how often, but she still like there are times where I think like, I wonder if I should reach out to her. I wonder like should we try to and then I have to remind myself of why we got here in the first place and not fall back into that. But it's weird. It's like a death. When you've
Yeah.
had somebody in your life that long and then you go basically pretty much no contact.
Right.
It's like a divorce or a death.
Yeah,
It's the
It
wildest thing.
It really is. And then you look at who did you replace that with? Because that's the other thing is when you have a friendship like that, again, going back to your three core groups, right? You're not looking for somebody that fits that mold, somebody that comes in and they don't necessarily have to be your best friend, right? But there are certain
Mhm.
things you need, like parenting advice, like some of the things that were core to you as the reason that friendship didn't work out. So now you're back on the dating scene and you're
Yeah.
looking for, now that we're talking about parenting, you're looking those parenting circles, those circles with your kids that do similar things. How do you get relationships in that area? And it really is hard. It's not easy at all. And I think for women, it's a lot easier than it is for men. It's a lot easier
Yeah.
for women
Mhm.
to start over and get new friends because you are a lot of times more involved in some of those social circles than for men. Because at work for men, a lot of times there isn't a whole camaraderie, friendship building aspect. It is
Right.
a very
Yeah.
different cycle. So as you get older, for men, I think you just kind of dwindle your friends down and you kind of pick up your wife's friends or your partner's
Yeah.
friends.
That does
Yeah.
happen a lot. I want to say too, like I encourage everybody, like, we're in this season of reflecting. Everybody does this around the holidays. And then you start to plan for like, what are your New Year's resolutions? So everybody's thinking about stuff. Really take some stock of the people that you've got in your life. And, I don't know what our demographic of listeners really is, but life is too short to not surround yourself with people who celebrate you, like
Yeah.
truly, authentically celebrate you, not just say the things a friend is supposed to say, but like really wants the best for you and is going to be your cheerleader. We have enough people that you encounter in life who are going to pull you down at times, drag you down intentionally or unintentionally. The people in your circle don't need to be one of those types of folks. And I see
Right.
that happen sometimes and it makes me very sad.
Yeah.
It is sad.
Very
Well, you've
sad.
always got to have those close people who, no matter what, you pick up the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning and you say, I need you, and they're there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and you want to make sure that you're prioritizing those friendships because those are the people that, will do anything for you. And
Yeah.
those are rare because not everybody has a friend that'll
No.
jump up and do anything for you at any time of the day.
Well, and you shouldn't feel guilty about the ask. I think some
Right.
people will make the ask, right? And the person will do it. But then for whatever reason, you feel guilty. If you have any guilt when you make a request like that, you need to evaluate that friendship.
Yep.
You need to look at what's really going on there because it should be a no guilt relationship. And
Right.
I have literally at 3 a.m. woken Cassandra up and said, my daughter is in the hospital and I need help because my husband is traveling and she has driven down to the hospital and helped me out. No questions asked, right? But there are some people, if I would have picked up that phone and called them, I would have felt guilty for
Yeah.
calling and waking them up and,
Right.
you know, that whole thing. And I know I could have called Jeremy and had the same response, right? But I only needed one of you, not both
She
of
would
you.
have
even though
driven with
I'm-
one eye open. Like, I'm on my way.
I came with my Celsius
there's
You
your
would have
already.
had Jessica make you a coffee first, and you'd have
There's
been
your
on your
social
way.
clip, Cassandra. I'm sitting here with one eyeball pulled open. Well, speaking of taking care of those friendships that, are important to us at this age, I want to talk about some ideas / tips on how to maintain or try to maintain some
Love
of those
it.
friendships. You want to hear them?
Let's do
Okay.
it.
We already kind of touched on this one, but a really popular one is a 5-minute voice memo. So there, a voice memo is just so much more personal than a text because you can hear their voice, you can hear their tone. It feels like more like you're with them or you're talking to them. And I don't know about y'all, but the older I get, the less I like to talk on the phone vocally, depending on what it is.
I think that has to do with our jobs and the facts that we're on
Yeah.
the phone all day. I struggle. People joke about me because they're like, oh, if you call Cassandra and you need to talk to her, you better text her.
Yeah.
There are very few people, and 2 of them are on this podcast with me, that I will actually pick up the phone for. The rest of you need to leave a voicemail or send me a text message because I'm
Send
just
a voice memo.
Well, on the voice memo, I do have one request. If you're going to send a voice memo and you are going to be spicy in any words, please start
Warning.
the voice menu
Yes.
with please put your headphones in, or text me and say before you click that, please put your headphones in.
Oops, I feel like
Yep.
she's making a face at me.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm
Rachel
just-
sent me a video of her mom and said, you
Yes.
need to put headphones in and like, don't watch this around Liam. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I sent disclaimers like, please make sure you listen to this by yourself or at least with headphones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if you answer the phone in the car and you're like, hey, I have little ears in this car. If whatever you have to say is spicy, let's tone it down.
Yeah. Well, another one, a little less personal, but we all stay so busy. It's just that little thinking of you text. Like if the person crosses your mind, which often happens, but we all stay so busy that they cross our mind and we go on trying to make yourself stop. And just, and there's voice to text now. So you don't even have to use your fingers. You can tell Siri to do it and she'll do it. If you don't have an iPhone, I don't know what to tell you. You're
Send
making
a
the wrong
ran-
choices.
Send
Make
a
different choice.
random GIF or send a meme or send, I'd send Instagram memes all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm on here scrolling. Well, let me send that to that person. Let me send that to that person.
Yeah.
One of my good friends that I used to work with, she lives in Mississippi now, and will randomly just send she's one of those no maintenance friends, like randomly every 2 or 3 months will just send a meme. Like for Thanksgiving, she sent me a Friends meme because we always like Friends, and I sent her one back. That was it. There was no long conversation.
Yep.
There was nothing else. But then it was just like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Here's a meme.
Yeah. You might see them like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And as long as you, to the point we were talking about earlier, as long as you fall right back in like it hasn't been a year or 6 months,
Exactly.
that's what
Exactly.
matters. Another one is like a girls' night or whatever dudes call it. For those, we do have some gentlemen that listen, so I don't know what y'all do. Can't relate. But for
A
us,
bros night. I don't know.
I doubt they call it that. I doubt they have a
I
name
think we
for it
should.
at all.
Look, we can brand it for them. We've got
Bro
this.
night out.
Oh my
A
gosh.
garage night.
I
if
think
you like
girls'
to.
nights are very difficult to
Yes.
put on because everybody's got such different schedules, and then it's like, do you do a one-on-one girls' night or do you try to because like I feel like I have to optimize my time. So while I love spending one-on-one time with friends because they do all check different boxes and we have different types of things in common, I don't have the time to do that with every friend. So in my mind, I'm like, bring
Do
them
'em in a group.
together. Yeah, but then they don't all
Jive
like
together.
you said. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
different.
I got an idea. It's
Uh-oh.
gonna be great. We
I
should
can
do a
I can smell the smoke.
podcast retreat.
That
Yes.
would be so cool.
Podcast retreat.
would
Even
be
if we
fun.
brought like all the families together and we just like we
That's
talked
not a
about,
retreat,
go rent
Rachel.
a house.
That's no
No,
longer a
it could
retreat.
be. It could be.
No, but see, we could leave them with the kids and then we could go retreat ourselves to a location.
To somewhere else.
Yeah.
Y'all
Anywhere
stay
else.
here. We're going to go.
Y'all
I
stay
feel
here.
like-
We're taking the boat.
Yeah,
See you in a
well,
few hours.
it's a little hard, right? Especially when you have families to dedicate that kind of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
When your kids are older or when you don't have kids, it's a lot easier to say, okay, I'm going on a retreat for a weekend.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you can incorporate the group, the
Yeah.
retreat becomes a lot easier to plan,
That's true.
Yeah.
a lot different. We could even, a retreat doesn't mean it doesn't have to have a babysitter. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
It could just
there
be
you
the
go.
adults.
mm-hmm.
I smell plan cooking.
I like it. Do we think Kinley is capable of babysitting these children's?
I'll pay her big money to take my gremlins.
She could corral them as long as we were nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we didn't go so far. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
think about this.
Well, while we're noodling on how we do a retreat and expense it or something,
Oh, you know what, too?
Taxes.
If
Yeah.
you want to come on our retreat, let us know.
There you go.
We could have, we can make this a whole thing. Next thing we know, we're going to be like, what is that? Like John Olstein or something? Like we got all these retreat people.
or like those
We're going to
people
be the people that go
out-
on cruises.
Yeah, they go
Like,
on whole
you can go
trips
on
out
a
of the
cruise with
country.
us.
Oh my gosh.
Jamie won't get on a boat. Just
My
so you
wife
know.
doesn't like cruises. We tried.
Oh,
one, and she was like,
bleh.
Well,
I'll
okay.
go.
So Jamie and Jessica can
They can stay home and watch
do
kids.
whatever they're going to do.
The rest of us will go on a cruise.
Right? It'll have to be a Disney cruise so we
Oh
can
my
keep the kids
Oh,
entertained.
yeah.
Even Carnival cruises keep the kids entertained. They have kid drop-offs. Yeah.
Well, we would love to hear from you guys. So let us know if you've got a friend who's been your anchor this year. If you have a friendship rule that you live by now in your 30s and 40s. I want to know too, like what's a friendship green flag? Y'all see on social media about the red flags and the green flags?
Yeah.
So like what's a friendship green flag? What's when you meet a person or you make a new friend, what's the thing they do that's like an immediate green flag?
Or are you a colorblind person? You don't see any of the flags.
Oh, my
You
mother.
just- yeah.
I immediately think of my mother in all people. She's no red flag. That's
or
a topic-
green flag. She just
That's a topic for another episode.
walking through life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, on that note,
I know it's about that time.
It's time.
it's
To
been
say
great catching
goodbye.
up with y'all. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
I was gonna say we actually do have a limit on the account, so we gotta keep those minutes down.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Coffee Meets Cloud. We love having you here with us. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please make sure to follow, rate, and subscribe wherever you're listening. It helps us grow the show and helps more women in tech find us. You can keep the conversation going with us on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok at Coffee Meets Cloud, or visit our website at coffeemeetscloud.com to listen to the episodes, find some resources. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend or your team. You never know who might need it today.
All
It's
right.
been
See
great.
you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.